some other time. But welcome to the I Believe Dreamers. Yes, yes, yes. I'm your host, Jermaine Henry, and we got a special guest today. Imagine Violet Ivy, the one and only, the bold, the expressive, the beautiful, the brilliant. You know the vibes. But we here.
Oh, so humble of me.
You know the vibes. But I'm thinking about like when you started like art though, because I know you do art and you do fashion, but were you a kid? Like when did you start doing art?
I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I actually started writing first, I think,
Word.
but I started drawing when I came to Canada.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I know I liked drawing when I was in Indonesia because back then when oh my God, it's crazy just talking about technology because I'm realizing how fast it grew and I feel like I'm having an experience where I'm showing my age, but also I'm young, so it's trippy. But back in the day when computers were around in the 90s, you had paint. And so I'd see my cousin drawing on paint, but that might have been later. I think that was much later. I'm confusing my timeline. But my cousin would draw. Like the cousins would be together and we'd draw. And I remember drawing a computer. Maybe that's why I thought of the computer thing. But anyway, I liked it. And then I started to draw more when I came to Canada because I was really lonely. And that was the only way I could express myself because I was always a very quiet and shy kid.
Do you remember what kind of stuff you were drawing?
I remember drawing, I'm playing with like a staple and I just poked myself. I remember drawing what I wanted my 10th birthday to be like. And I was in my parents' car, and that's the first thing I remember. And then my cousin and I, we would draw random things. I don't even remember, but we were very, very creative children.
Yo, you are so creative. And it's interesting that you said that you were imagining what you wanted for your 10th birthday. Because like, I'll even ask about your writing too, because what I noticed about your writing, a lot of imagery, a lot of imagination, very creative in that sense. Like, so how'd you start really with the writing part?
The first poem I ever wrote was for my mother. We were in New York. We were new to North America. And I wanted to express how much she meant to me because even though I was young, I realized that it was really difficult for us because our entire lives just changed from Indonesia to America. And that's what I wanted to do. Just wanted to write her a poem. I'm not sure if I ever read it to her actually, but after that, I didn't write for a while until maybe high school.
Word. But it was really, I guess, it was out of love and admiration, like an ode to your mom kind of thing.
Yeah, I never, even like doing interviews and stuff is so awkward for me because I feel like I can't articulate myself very well or express myself, and I get really awkward and weird. And then I say things that I wish I didn't say. So being that awkward person, somehow I'm able to translate through my paintings and writing and everything else that I do. It's the only way I feel like I can actually organize my thoughts and express myself properly.
It'd be interesting if we did like a blog interview with you of writing to see how different or see how you would answer things.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Okay, so that's the art. So that's like the writing, art, the visual art. I guess a little later on you got into spoken word, but I want to like even just inquire about like fashion and style. Cause you even went to school for fashion, right?
I did. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. I struggled a lot in school, so it's not something that I'm very proud of in a weird way, but
you did it.
I did.
Yeah.
I loved fashion since I was a kid, again, like 10, 11, 12, I would cut up my own clothes and try to make different clothes. And my family, like we're Muslim. I come from a Muslim background. So I remember coming to North America and thinking that there wasn't enough modesty. That was just something that I grew up with. And I felt like that was an untapped market as a 10, 11-year-old, thinking that was weird, because now you have like people are doing these things, right? They're hitting that target market. But I wanted to make beautiful clothing for Muslim women. I mean, it doesn't have to be Muslim women. Obviously, anybody who likes to take a modest approach on fashion and style, because it doesn't have to be all skin out all the time, and and I wanted to do that so badly, but I definitely struggled with actually coming to terms and allowing myself to do fashion, because it wasn't accepted. Obviously, I'm a South Asian woman who's gonna be a designer. That's not something people will receive very well.
So it was foreign back then. But I guess you're actually answering some of the question that, like, the next question was kind of about how would you describe your style? So I guess maybe it's probably evolved from then, but like, how would you describe your style and the double entendre of it, of like style is your fashion, but like, as your art as well?
No, I don't have a specific style. I mean, maybe I do, but I can be really, like, I love men's clothing. Like, I just want to dress like a boy most of the time. Like, I love just casual, like, freaking, I like being casual. I like being tomboyish. And I also have a girly side, but I also have a sexy side. I have all these different sides, but I know what I feel comfortable in. I do like color. I do like patterns. I'm a very colorful person because of my background, but I also love simplicity. Like today, I also like everything. So it really depends on how I feel. It's like, do I want to be extra today, or do I just want to be simple today? I don't know. But I'll make sure that it looks good.
Word. I feel like, just because you keep on mentioning it a bit, but it sounds like your background is a very important thing to you. Do you want to like speak more about that, of like, because you're talking about like colorful and expressive, and that's part of like your background. So how does that translate to your fashion?
Well, my South Asian background, like I'm from Bangladesh, and everyone knows Desi culture is very colorful and very vibrant, and that influenced me a lot because I grew up with that, and I love wearing our clothing. I wish I could wear it every day, but that influences me a lot because also style is so personal, and sometimes I do get caught up in trying to make things for people instead of, I mean, yes, I'm designing for myself and other people, but I want myself to be included in all of that. I just want people to make braver choices because sometimes I think, people might think wearing all black is safe. And don't get me wrong, I love wearing all black, but I just want people to feel inspired to reach for something that they're not going to usually reach for, and just have that statement because maybe the mood will call for it. So, yeah.
It's interesting. Like, well, we're going to be bouncing different places, but how would you describe then with your writing? Because I feel like you're talking before about how, you can be awkward in person in interviews and talking with people, and sometimes you need to have your own space to just write, collect your thoughts, and maybe say things. Well, at least how I got it was maybe say the things that you couldn't say or that you wouldn't say in person, but maybe just being a little bit braver in your writing. At least I take that from your writing, is that your writing is pretty brave, of like, it's pretty raw, and provocative. But for you, like, what goes behind your writing and what you're trying to express? Of course, it changes depending on
It
what you're.
does.
Yeah.
It's whatever is the most pressing at the moment. Sometimes feelings are so overwhelming and they feel like they can consume you. And that's usually what I write about, whatever is consuming me at the moment. And I just want to be raw. Like, I want to be able to describe things in a way where people can relate. I've always wanted to express things that perhaps other people also can't, and when they hear it they're like, yo, that's exactly how I feel. Like, you said it in the exact way that I needed to hear, you know. So I try to be as raw as possible. And actually, my English teacher in high school and my creative writing teacher, he influenced me a lot to be incredibly expressive and swear in my writing, which was the greatest advice he ever gave me. And very unapologetic. Like, he was such a supportive of students that were like that. And I'm so grateful for him.
Yeah, that sounds freeing. Yo, big ups, English teacher.
Yes, Mr. Evan Geist. He's the best.
Evan Geist. Okay, so when you think about, you have a lot of art, and you have a lot of pieces, but when you think about like your faves, you know, what comes to mind of some of your, like, your favorite, what's one or two, or maybe whatever you want to describe of like your favorite piece and why?
Anika would be my favorite piece from the Shadow Women, which is the last painting. She's just so beautiful, and she's actually just sitting in my basement. And funny enough, I have the Shadow Women like all over my room except for her for some reason. But she's really big too. But I just love her because I remember the process. It's one of the longest paintings. I took my time with it. And the detail, and it just felt like something I was so proud of. And I don't feel that way very often about my work because I'm highly critical of myself. But it was also just a painting for myself. And along with that poem that I wrote, it was a love letter to myself. So it just meant everything to me. And I just poured myself into myself. And that's what it felt like. It was just the definition of self-love to me.
Give thanks, big ups. Hey, y'all, check out the Shadow Woman on the I Believe Dreamers YouTube account. Check it out and take it in, because that it was really beautiful. And what an amazing representation of a glimpse of who you are, the beauty of who you are, and also like the work that you've been putting in of loving yourself and that transmuting into art. Like, truly beautiful. And I think we get desensitized to beauty sometimes, right? Because it's really beautiful, but I think because we're always filled with these messages of beauty, but that for you to have something so personal and just like intimate with yourself that you're proud of, like, that's an honor just to witness. And yes. I don't think we really take that in. So tell me, so the Shadow Women, that was like the last project you did with the Shadow Women, with the showcase. And I hear you got your first clothing line, Origin.
Yes.
Coming out. So Origin, tell us more about it. Why Origin?
Origin is an ode to Bangladesh and me as a Bengali. It was sourced in Bangladesh. It was made in Bangladesh, designed by a Bengali. And it's my first collection, so I thought Origin would be the perfect name for it. It's weird and surreal that I have it, and it's strange because I just haven't given myself permission to design. And my friend keeps messaging me on my WhatsApp, and I didn't turn off my notifications, so I apologize.
It's all love.
So yeah, it's something that's important to me because I want to stay away from fast fashion, first of all, because it's easy, yes, and obviously I've supported them as well, like we all have, but I thought of myself being Bengali and having all the resources back home. So I want to really work on producing my garments ethically, and that's really important to me, and also preserving what Bangladesh is known for. So I want to, future collections will showcase, fabrics that are home to Bangladesh. So I'm really excited about that. Like I don't want to go anywhere else really to make my garments. Like I really want to highlight Bangladesh, because we're such an important country and we get looked over so much. And yesterday, like February 21st, it was National Mother Language Day, and it's international now, but it started because of us. Like we're the only country that fought for our language, and we went through so much. And my family was a part of that. Like they were all involved, and they've just been such a big part of like our political freedom. And for me as a Canadian, like Bengali Canadian, I have to recognize my privilege in Canada too. Yes, I'm a minority here, but I am also very privileged. So I want to use that to help people back home.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's Origin, it feels like such a legacy piece about the impact that you're trying to leave, to represent, and not just represent, but just to embody the resilience and the brilliance of your culture, and fight for equity, fight for fairness, in a significant way. It may not be a huge scale, but Origin as a clothing line, like I think for me as just supporting it, I feel like I have more integrity, you know what I mean, in supporting it. So that's really cool. Questions then, when does it launch and how can we find it?
I'm hoping it will launch in April.
Okay.
Things may change depending on certain decisions, so I'm not sure, but you can find out always on my Instagram, which is Imagine Violet, and all my information is always there. It'll be on my website, imagineviolet.com, whenever it does launch. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for that, because it's also exclusive, like it's limited edition stuff. Okay. Hey. So like once you have it, there's not gonna be another person that has it. There's a few, but like it's very limited. Like you'll be exclusive. Like you'll be walking down the street like, oh damn, people are gonna be like, where'd you get that? And you can say this is an Ivy design, but you can't get it anymore. You're gonna have to wait for the next collection. So I want to bring that exclusivity, because people always want something original, right? And it's hard to find original shit, which is, I swore, I don't know if I'm allowed.
Hey, we're free up out here. We're independent. We're independent. Yes. And I'm hoping that our dreamers, I'm hoping our believers, hey, y'all, get tapped into us. We'll see if we can get some exclusive deals for you. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Or maybe not even exclusive deal, but maybe you'll actually get it reserved, because it's gonna hot.
Yeah, I may do like a pre-launch thing. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but I know some people are already like letting me know, like, can you put that on hold for me? And especially my models, like they're like, okay, before. So I promise them, like, you guys will get an exclusive like launch for yourself, and you can shop whatever you want. But who knows? I may do that for a few people. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Bless up. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. IV, Imagine Violet. Yo, you heard it first here with I Believe TV. But any last words or anything else you want to share to the people, them, in the future, them?
I want to say, don't be afraid of color. Life is too short to be bland. So be bold and be expressive.
Hey, one love, y'all. You heard it. Peace.